Hello and welcome to North Point High School here in Waldorf, Maryland. I am Carson Cash, joined by Zachary Lewis, my color commentator for tonight. Zach, how are you?
Doing very well. We traveled all the way out here, far away from Shirley Povich tonight, but hoping that we can get bats hot and have an exciting match. A little earlier start. The sun's still beating down us here, but we're ready for a baseball game.
Yeah, I was going to say, sounds like hot, obviously feels like hot around here. It is 90 degrees and a little bit windy. There's some kind of breeze, and the sun sometimes gets covered by overcast, but we've got a very warm one here at North Point Field. This one starts a little earlier than you're used to here if you've been watching home games at Shirley Povich, because they're trying to avoid the heat there. Not so much here. Senators in their black jerseys with white pants. They will have an interesting set to go here. They're a very hot team ever since the addition of Vanderbilt transfer. He's one of the best transfers in this portal from Maryland. Bud Coombs in this lineup. Hometown kind of guy. He's from Mechanicsville, Maryland, and he is now entering his third game in a row, back-to-back with grand slams. Now his third game in a row, potentially, if he can get one tonight. That would be a grand slam in it. Insane things going on. That's a league record, and he's going to maybe break a few more despite coming a little late.
Yeah, and Bud Coombs is really just an incredible addition for this team. Like you said, maybe electing to play with this team because of local ties and being near his family for the summer here. So really good opportunity for the Southern Maryland Senators to improve their roster here as we take a quick break for the anthem here.
Big Train, Southern Maryland, just coming up on the Big Train Baseball Network. Welcome back to North Point Field at North Point High School. I'm Carson Cash, joined by Zach Lewis. We are very happy to have you tonight. Here's how the Southern Maryland Senators will line up against the Bethesda Big Train. Defensively, Carlson, Coombs, and Gonzalez will make up the outfield. Chase Fulver, Jack Ewert, middle infield with Hayes and Kehoe at that corner spots. Nichols behind the dish. He'll be the battery with Will Pettis. The Roswell, Georgia native, Georgia State left-hander will make his second appearance on the mound this season. His first also against Bethesda. In an exhibition, excuse me.
Oh, good. For the Big Train in their batting lineup, starting off with Logan Ponnett. After him will follow Brendan Wright, Cal Johnson in the DH spot tonight. Danny Machado. After him, Zachary Malvasio, the hard-hitting bat in fifth. Casey Carpenter after him. Ryan Foscolo. TJ Gramercy, the catcher, follows in the eighth spot. And closing out the lineup will be Jackson Mirza in center field.
That will come up to bat in this thing. He'll lead it off. As warm-up coming through a close here is actually maybe just starting. Okay, they just stopped the music, so I thought they were ready to go here at North Point Field. That isn't the case. Big Train are the guest tonight. North Point hosting the North Point Eagles regularly in this area, which is a bit far for us. About a 2-hour drive rather, from Shirley Povich Field. The reason that Bud Coombs, the center fielder, is here is because he's a Southern Maryland local from Mechanicsville. He's about 20 minutes away.
Yeah, Big Train did not have the outing they wanted to last night against the Crop Dusters. Pitching proved to be a bit of an issue again. for the Crop Dusters that like to swing at a lot of things and make a lot of contact. Too many balls were left over the zone, especially hard outing from the not typical pitcher who's in the bottom of this lineup, Jackson Mirza, who had done really well in his 2 other appearances as a pitcher so far with 0 earned runs, but gave up a big home run that really put the Crop Dusters ahead big.
Bennett last night didn't have exactly the one he was hoping for. A couple of errors. And ended up kind of batting towards the later part of this lineup. But in the field or at the dish, he was pretty good. His error was pretty costly, but had a double and as well as a single. Good in the other side. Also got one in. Or didn't get one in, excuse me. He was scored on a sac fly later in that game. Big Train fell pretty hard. Did not get the win they needed against Olney. Pretty much a blowout, 15-6. First pitch in there. Second one now coming from Pettis and lined up the middle. It's a worm burner. Shortstop Fulford will try to make a play on it, and a good hold by the 6'8" first baseman Kehoe. Big target, and he's able to stretch, get the first out against Bennett.
Kehoe has plenty of length and reach. Seems like you have a little more margin of error when you have someone with that wingspan on first base.
Brennan Wright coming into today. The South Alabama native. OPS tick above 900. Not including yesterday's stats. So going into yesterday with a one above 900, which will stay considering the fact that did go 0 for 4, but it was at 950. So he's gone down to just above that as he watches strike one. Big Train in their black road aways. Gray pants, green belts, green accents on the said jersey as all of them have high socks. Now the 1-0 as the first pitch misses to the lefty right. That one just a bit inside. Right, a second team all Sun Belt selection last year at the University of South Alabama for the Jaguars.
Well, you won't be confused here since we don't have video as we're away. We do a radio broadcast. That ball is in there for a strike. Count is 2-1. But both teams are wearing black jerseys. I believe the Southern Maryland Senators only have one color jerseys, and they are black, and our ways are black as well. So
it's
have to be careful.
For a team that plays at 5 every day, going to be pretty rare to see the sun go down by the end of a game, as it certainly is beating down upon us. A pull hitter, right? Not RBIs this year. As he's in his second year with the Big Train, and he draws his first walk of this night. 5-pitch AB, and he makes his way to first. On the free pass from Pettis. Pettis a ERA standing at just a tick or 2 over 3.6. Brings up Cal Johnson, the switch hitting Maryland commit. Played out of the College of South Florida the previous year. This one low and in the strike zone, right at the knees of Johnson.
Yeah, and with Brendan Wright getting himself over there to first base, you would think walks pretty typical just for a team in a game, but actually might have been the downfall of the Big Train last night where they were not able to walk at all.
Yeah, 0 walks last night, and that was the name of the game for a team that has done so, a very high amount. A lot of OBP in this group, and I mean, with no walks in the entire season, in any game in the entire season, that's a very big issue. They're not going to win games like that, and it happens as Johnson up the middle. It's a nearly tailor-made double play, but a bobble from Fulford, and he beats it at first. Safe at the bag, and 2-1 on the bobble. Error from Fulford. It's a tailor-made double play, but he rips the hems loose.
Not a great moment of fielding there as he manages to get 0 out of the 2 outs that were definitely within his reach there.
First error in the season for Fulford. He's been top of this lineup and batting extremely well. He's been table setting as they are 4-0 since Coombs got here, as he's been the primary runner driven in. This one fouled back towards us and just out of the field of play.
We go back to those walks from last night, or the lack of. I mean, it really was important because the Big Train were able to get some hits and put some pressure on
there.
The defense. but they weren't able to bring in runs with those hits as they just didn't have enough players on bases.
0-2 to Zachary Malvazio, or Daniel Machado, excuse me, who I have written incorrectly in my lineup. This one up the middle, and it gets down. Going to be a single as here comes Brennan Wright from second. Throw will not come in time, and Machado an RBI, and this thing, a fantastic hit from the shortstop. He's had a great season so far and has heated up again.
Well, that's exactly how you would want to start an away trip like this. Obviously, it can be hard to get off for a long drive and lots of games back-to-back. It could be easy for the Big Train to start off sluggish, but they do exactly the opposite of that, hitting well and really being able to find a connection and want to start off with the trend of being effective with runners in the scoring position.
So Malvazio, he'll play in right tonight as he takes a big hack at that one. Homered yesterday, a 2-run bomb to follow up a game in D.C. where they had won 10-0 off the back of 2 Malvazio homers. So
yeah, with his home run yesterday when he hit it, it was 3 home runs and 3 straight at-bats for him. Incredible.
0-1 is in there, now into an 0-2 count. Pettis, the one thing he does do is make sure he draws contact. Has not walked anybody this season in 5 innings. First walk of the year given up to him, to the base runner that just scored right. 0-2 from Pettis as he stands with 2 on. 1 at first, 1 at second. Takes a double look back, and he misses, skips one off the plate. Not quite wild enough, and there's a very big backstop here at North Point. You do not want to have a catcher that can't handle it.
No, you really have to be careful because if that pitch does get away from you, it is almost guaranteed extra bases and potentially a run if you're not able to secure it in time.
Carper, the first baseman on deck, hasn't played in 2 days. 1-2 to Malvazio from the lefty Pettis, and this one is just low. Takes a good fastball that barely is ordained on a good frame, but ump knows better. Catcher's always trying to fool the umps. 2-2 from Pettis. Low, and now a full count worked after an 0-2 start.
Good patience from Malvazio, who knows that people are going to be maybe a little more tentative to throw balls over the zone to him after he proved that he is quite the home run threat.
Very good this season. All of his hits are extra bases. This one in the air to the left, pretty deep. Back at the wall, and it is out of here. Malvazio, a 3-run shot. It's 4-0 Big Train.
Absolutely incredible. We mentioned he's the hot bat on this team. We watched him hit a couple out of the park in batting practice before the game. He really can't be stopped right now. That is just a momentum builder for the Big Train.
His 4th homer on the year, and that ties the man hitting power spot for the other side at 4 for a league lead. He has been red hot this year, and I mean, he had a very bad start to the year. You kind of see a guy start his year off 0 for 5, 4 strikeouts in his first game, and suddenly he turns it around after a few pitching appearances as well. He has done everything for the Big Train as Carpenter drives this one right up the middle. A little slow roller, gets past both the shortstop and second baseman, or maybe a little bit reeling. So another runner on very quickly after the 3-run shot from Malvazio.
Well, and we've said it before here that hitting can be contagious, and especially a hit like that just gets the energy up. You see T.J. Gramsty come out of the dugout and celebrate with his teammate there. I mean, once you get the energy going, and the bats often just follow right along with it as Carpenter gets a single there.
Another power threat, Malum, as it's Ryan Foscolo in. Ooh, the first pitch swinging. Good breaking ball from Pettis as his ERA sure to spike as not exactly the start he was hoping for in this first inning.
No, and he knew he had to be careful on that 3-2 pitch to Malvazio, and Foscolo takes another big swing at that. Goes down 0-2 in the count, but he felt like maybe he had no choice on that full count, didn't want to walk another batter and give himself a big situation, so he left one over the zone, and it was just crushed.
Foscolo starting in 9 games this year. It'll be his 10th, 306 average. As the 0-2 is swung on and missed. He goes 3 swinging. He'll be the second out of this inning, and it'll bring up TJ Gramesty, the catcher. Gramesty, 263 average on the year and an 878 OPS. He's been pretty good at the dish. Struggled a little bit in the blocking category of catching, but he's thrown the most runners out of anybody this season. Has 6 caught stealings, as the first throw is low from Pettis.
Well, Gramesty doesn't maybe have the biggest frame to get behind the ball and can maybe struggle a little bit with the blocking, but absolutely his reaction time is incredible. He sees the batter or the runner getting over and can make that tag, which can be really crucial to get those extra outs for the big train.
Here comes Pettis on the 1-0, and in there, strike one to Gramesty. He hasn't gotten a hit in a little while. Collected one in the last 5 days. He has walked like no other. His OBP sitting at a cool 615. That's the league, or the leader on this squad. Higher OBP on the other side here. Bud Coombs. It is a 2 teams that have struggled with pitching and not struggled much at the plate as of late. Malvasio proving that. It's 4-0 obviously, but this is not even remotely close to a game over. 2-1. TJ Gramesty got a heck of a lot of that one. Runner coming in, and he's able to make it. Good play by Carlson in left. That's the league leader in home runs. We'll be right back. We'll tied now with Malvasio after his 3-run shot to put the Big Train up 4-0 in the top of the first on the Big Train Baseball Network. We'll head to the bottom as the Senators get to respond. Southern Maryland slugging the heck out of the ball. They're 8-4 league leaders in terms of wins and losses. Part of this has been this lineup. Chase Fulford will lead things off, followed by the Vanderbilt commit Bud Coombs. James Carlson, league leader, tied now with Malvasio after that one. Hitting third, Zach Anderson to tail. Kieran Kehoe, the big first baseman, in that spot behind him. Jax Nichols, the catcher, will tail as Jackson Hayes follows him. Jack Ewert will be in second base as Brayster Gonzalez will then tail the lineup here.
For the defense of the Big Train, we have Foscolo, Malvasio, and Mirza in the outfield. Brennan Wright has made his way to second base. Logan Panett on third. Cal Johnson's DHing tonight as we have Danny Machado and Casey Carpenter taking Emilio Gonzalez's spot at first base. Gramesty will be catching tonight with Bryce Dolby on the mound.
So 4 runs last inning for the Big Train, 3 earned, 3 hits, one error, and 1 left on base as they got one to reach via that. So Dolby will be the man to try and defend that. Very good season on his hands so far. Was fantastic his last outing. For Dolby, he'll see the top of the lineup with a 6.4 ERA, a 1.4 whip, so has given up some runs on not exactly what he's been hoping for. 8.1 innings pitched, 11 hits given, not a lot of walks. 7 pitched to contact. It's been a sinker, which has either really gotten a team struggling, but against tonight, he has to have it perfect, cannot leave it hanging in the zone. He's had an issue doing so earlier.
He absolutely cannot leave that one in the zone tonight with these hitters up to bat for the Senators.
Ground ball right up the middle. Coming after it is Machado in this one. We'll get into the outfield, and the ever-present leadoff hitter, Chase Fulford, trying to get one back from his error as he's on first on the first pitch of this game. Good piece of hitting there.
Yeah, it doesn't make extremely hard contact, but it kind of in just the perfect spot to dribble out past second base and get into the outfield for a single for Fulford.
Here comes Bud Coombs, the center fielder, committed to Vanderbilt on the Big Ten all-freshman team in 2026. Very good, 1.2 OPS. Had a heck of a lot of power, 9 home runs, 36 RBIs, and that comes in just 30 games. He hit very well for the Terrapins last year and is a member of a lot of players leaving the Terps, over 20, as they move on to bigger things for him. He's committed to Vanderbilt, obviously, from Mechanicsville, Maryland, as he takes the first pitch for a ball. That one outside. He hits the ball very hard. He has got so much torque in his swing, something you will notice immediately, as he's yet to do so. 2-0 count.
People at home will have to visualize it really well when we describe it.
You'll be able to hear it. Dolby 2-0. That one outside. Three 0 count. As he misses again, and I mean, it makes sense. You don't want to get too aggressive on a guy like Coombs. Dolby's trying to win this thing, and tell you to walk everything would be probably what you're going for, but wild pitch on the 3-0 is Gramercy will collect it in time, so a walk now and runners on first and second.
Now batting number 13, James Carlson.
Well, not exactly the start you would want as Dolby, but not giving up too much. It was a soft ground ball on the first one, and that one obviously being tentative to throw a ball into the zone for Coombs.
Here comes the first pitch to the man behind him, James Carlson. He's not the kind of guy you want to leave the table set for. First strike on a sinker. Good pitch from him. Just very dangerous to leave a guy like that. And he pitches to hit, and he will punish you. 4 home runs already, 2 of them walk-off variety. 0-1 pitch from the righty Dolby, committed to Cal State Bakersfield. He's way ahead of a curveball. And that one now 0-2. Carlson having to fight things off. He'll choke up a little. Oh, 2, and this is a waste pitch outside. Same thing, but nowhere close. It's finally cooling down, as I think the overcast is finally upon us that was forecasted. Thank golly.
Yeah, it is nice to have a cooler match here, especially as you are kind of battling the afternoon heat.
I'm not winning either. 1-2, and that's an inside breaking ball. Really close.
That'll give us a better idea of how the umpire is going to call the zone tonight.
I think that one was in there. It was not in there. We obviously don't have a good angle of that inside portion to righties. Oh, 2-2, excuse me. He's working back from an 0-2, and big wave at that one. Carlson down on strike swinging. This is an absurd walk-up song, by the way. I know this is coming through. That's Girls by Beastie Boys. It's a good song.
It's a great song.
It's in my playlist.
Absolutely.
Listen to it on the
vibes
way here.
Coming up to the base.
Vibes for Zach Anderson have not been the only thing he's capable of. The Binghamton catcher is at the DH spot tonight. .313 average on the year with a .439 OBP to boot. .375 slug. He's at 2 doubles, 11 RBIs. Looking to add at 12 and 13. Maybe himself on a 14 if he can get this one deep. But dangerous bat at the plate, and they have been slugging. To get the Senators here with 2 runners on, no outs, to let them strand it would be a very big start for Bethesda. Started with no outs, as this one is a one on the left side. Panette over to first, and that's the second out of the inning.
Well, after 2 getting on base for the Senators, Big Train in good position to keep a good defensive stand. If they can get one more out, obviously have to be careful with their pitches, as they do have a runner on third to worry about.
Oh, it says 3 outs on the board. Pretty incredible because the inning's still going. Just 2. You guys can't see it here. Not your board that you're seeing on the YouTube. As first pitch to the big righty Kehoe. He's out of Iona College, a New York native.
Well, I mentioned it before, but Kehoe just has a massive frame here, is 6'8", with I think a longer than 6'8" wingspan.
Very long arms based on the stretch earlier. 1-0 just outside. And now a 2-0 hole to a power hitter. Kehoe says he models his game after the likes of Pete Alonso, who is much shorter than him. Pete Alonso's still like 6'3", but that's a pretty big difference to the right-hander from Cal State Bakersfield. To Kehoe, ground ball up the middle, hard hit, collected by right, and they get out of the inning, stranding 2. Well played by the Big Train as Dolby strands 2 runners. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network as they try to add on to the top in the top of the second with a 4-0 lead. Jackson Mirza to stand in here. The University of South Florida Bull has not had the year he's hoping for at the plate, considering he's done very well for the University of South Florida. His slug on this young season just at the 158 mark. Average is 105, but he has been able to walk some with a OBP in the 300s as the first pitch to him is low. That one low again, and good discipline as Big Train looking to add on to, if you just missed it, a 4-0 lead. Malvazio went deep for a 3-run homer, now his 3rd game in a row with a home run and his 4th of the season. He has just been red hot. He'll see a 3-0.
Had to guess. You hadn't tuned in yet. You had to guess who would hit the home run. That would have been your pick.
He's been
that would have been the home pick for pick to click.
If we picked to click it, I would have clicked that.
I would have.
3-2 now to Mirza as he watches one go by. Waves at it, 3-2 count. Here comes Pettis' delivery, and he got Mirza looking. 3-2 has worked back from a 3-0 count, and Mirza goes down to start the second on strikes. Logan Panett, tail of the lineup, coming back up now the top. Ground ball left side as the third baseman Hayes will collect. Throw to first, a big stretch gets him there. Kehoe, good job by him, and 2 up, 2 down as he goes out again to the left side of the infield. Second out.
Unless you hit it really hard, it might be hard to get to first base because they can make that play so quickly because he can get so far off the bag.
Oh, count to the next batter in the lineup, Brennan Wright. Wright this season been very good, average hitting around the 300 mark. As the second pitch is grounded up the middle, Pettis goes at it with his bare hand. Brennan Wright's not able to beat it. So 3 up, 3 down, and the Big Train unable to build off that first inning momentum. They set up 4-0 on the Big Train Baseball Network. 3 hits to 1, and the other side will try and respond in the bottom of the second. Welcome back to North Point Field in Waldorf, Maryland. I'm Carson Cash, joined by Zach Lewis beside me. The next batter in the order is Jax Nichols. He takes a big hack at a Dolby fastball. Goodness, nowhere near that thing. Bullpen chirping a lot closer than we are used to, so you can definitely hear him a lot better, at least for us and the other team. So we'll see. 0-1. Dolby delivers, and that one just outside, a good fastball.
You mentioned some bullpen chirping. Typical night against Olney last night with tensions getting heated again. A couple players getting tossed as well. I think the Olney crop dusters coach leader being asked to leave eventually as well from the umpires. So,
and a weird rule because 2 of their players got ejected from the bullpen, but and then if 2 players get ejected, your manager automatically must leave.
Yeah, so it wasn't something he said, but as a result of his players' actions, was dismissed from that game.
1-2 count now as Dolby trying to extinguish Nichols after the foul ball. 1-2. Big wave, and the slider has just gone perfectly. Goes back to the well, gets another swing and a miss, and that's the first out of this inning.
Now batting number 9, Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes stands into this thing. No, not the Laker. Hayes playing third tonight. He's hit this ball very well this season. Actually hasn't hit it very well, he's seen it very well. 167 in the average department and a 600 OBP. So he has just kept on walking, and that isn't a lot of plate appearances. This will be his 26th as he takes ball 1. Hasn't been hit more than 3 times, which is a lot in fairness in such a young season. So kind of gets to a point of, hey, it kind of sucks, but this guy's going to stay in if one gets in on him. Doesn't feel good against Dolby, who touches around 90.
Dolby, after only his first 2 batters given a ground out, single, and walk, has really locked in and done a good job pitching to the right parts of the zone.
1-1. He's now extinguished 4 straight batters. And count now 2-1. Dolby trying to keep Hayes off the base paths. It would get into the bottom of the lineup that you don't want to see get on base, because you go back to the top and then you give Fulford, who's a very good hitter, as well as Bud Coombs, the 2-hole hitter from Vandy, the opportunity to kind of work his way into something. 3-1 the count. He misses again, and Dolby wind on the 3-1. Saw it off right side, and the second strike, as this one's foul. Three-two count, full for Dolby's first full count of the night. Guess it's only 5 of the evening. 3-2 is just inside, and he walks Hayes.
Well, that's exactly what his MO is, and he shows up to the plate and does exactly that. Is able to find his way over to first base in the way he knows how.
Brings up the batter, Jack Ewert. Ewert, a member of Wofford College, going into his sophomore year. He's an Atlanta, Georgia native. Spent his last year as well up in Southern Maryland, as the pickoff attempt is no good for the runner at first, Hayes. He's safe. Seeking his 14th hit with this squad in 2 years. 8 this year. He's had a much better year. In 18 games, he only saw 28 ABs. Seen already more than that this season, 30. 1-0 count as misses to Ewert. Dolby now on the 1-0 right-hander, has one at first. That one just in there, strike 1. Good pitch on the outside corner.
Dolby staying collected, knowing he really has the pitching rotation to do a good job and confuse these batters.
Throw back, and he's safe. Bethesda entering tonight. They are 6-5. 3rd in their division. Southern Maryland uncontested at the top of theirs in the South. 1-0 and 1-1, turns to 1-2. Big wave from Ewert. Ewert playing second today. Making up a middle infield block with him and Chase Fulford, which has already seen an error that they did get punished for on a Malvasio homer. 1-2, and he watches ball 2. Close there. I think it could have been called either way. 2-2 now, as Dolby looking for another punch out. He's got 2 on the day. As random music playing, they're letting us know that Josie is on a vacation far away. It'll stop play for a moment. We go back on the 2-2, and Ewert, trying to avoid his second strikeout on the year, has been good at the plate in avoiding them, and that one outside, now a full count.
Something interesting to note for the Big Train defense, obviously Panett is listed as a utility player, but Brennan Wright, who's at second, and Casey Carpenter at first have all proven to be players that kind of move around that infield and play where they need to.
Throw back, and the pickoff is no good again. Machado is also the only guy in this infield that has not played another infield position, or started at least at one, because he has played second. He moved over very briefly for the 9th inning. 3-2. He kind of goes after one way too high, but is able to foul it back. So Ewart is still collected. Three-two count as Dolby comes set again. More stretch work for him. He's been great. Get to give up a run, only one base runner. Giving up via the walk, trying to avoid it. 3-2, and that one high to Ewart. Dolby can't believe it. I mean, he may have struck him out on two different pitches there, and that's tough because he can get called either way. It's right on the black there, and sometimes you get those calls, sometimes you don't. It's the game of baseball, is not possible to see fully.
Yeah, and obviously frustrating as a pitcher, but you just have to shake it off and not really think about the last at bat and just see the new one there. Gramesty signaling to his pitcher that that one might have just drifted a little bit high.
That one was high. Not the other pitch I was talking about, unfortunately. As this one bunted left side off the bat of Gonzalez. Play is over by Panetta, and he is out at the first base. Lead runner advances as well as the one behind him, so Hazen Ewart will be at third and second after Brayton Gonzalez is able to lay down a bunt.
Well, the Senators advance runners, but not without the cost of an out here, so need a hit to get down in order to bring a run across to open the scoring for them.
Big Train owner Bruce Adams here. Far drive for him, so cool that he's in this park. Oh, whoa, Dolby from the right side delivers to the top of the lineup, Chase Fulford. That's what we're talking about with giving a guy a walk at the bottom of this lineup, because now that sac bunt basically is just getting two runners in scoring position because they don't care how many outs there is when Fulford's up. He doesn't get out that much, and they want to make sure he can keep the line moving. So 0-1 as that first pitch is in there. Dolby comes set with a runner on third and second. Fastball misses, and again, Dolby showing some signs of frustration. 1-1 trying to escape the second. Unscathed. It's 4-0. Only held them to one hit, has given 3 walks. Only given up 1 walk coming into tonight.
Fulford thought about that one, but did well to just see it drop low and outside of the zone eventually. Tempted him, though.
2-1 dish from Dolby, and that one outside again, and count now 3-1. Can't seem to place that sinker. As Fulford in danger of walking, and would give a bases loaded opportunity to the guy who has gone deep with a grand slam in back-to-back nights, Bud Coombs. 3-1 to Dolby. Line drive right to the first baseman Carpenter. They get out of the inning. 2 more runners stranded at second and third. How about that for Bethesda? We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network as they look to add on from 4-0 in the top of the third.
Cal Johnson up to the plate for Big Train here in the top of the third.
Pretty good day so far. They have stranded now 4 runners, both in scoring position. And the first and second is that one's popped into the air towards the second base side. Ewert settling under it, and he will get there.
Well, we know what Johnson is capable of with his bat from early on in the season, but we haven't seen him be extremely effective. Last night he was really good, had 2 singles and a triple, but no runners in scoring position when he was really hitting, and so he didn't bring in any RBIs last night because of the lack of walks.
A lot of that comes from the lack of runners. We're not there on the lack of walks. Only pitched pretty much the perfect strategy that they needed to. Not a perfect game. That would be 27 up, 27 down. But 0-1 now. And we'll give the next pitch here to Daniel Machado, who RBI single his first time up. It's been very hot as of late. No Johnson on base to score, as he reached an error last time. 1-1 is in there. Good pitch. A little off speed on the outside for Pettis, who's trying to finally settle. Brought 3 up, 3 down in the second, trying to keep that streak going and get a good start. Went 5 in his first of the season. 1-2. Senator's lefty dealing, and switch hitter Machado batting from the right batter's box tonight. That one nearly hits the TrackMan box. It's a beautiful day in North Point. It's just a little windy. It's kind of perfect for baseball in the summer. 1-2. Little sawed-off grounder, swinging bunt to the first man on the mound, Pettis, and his throw is in there. Good job from him.
Yeah, that one a little low into the ground, but probably said it already too many times tonight, but that reach for Kehoe is just such a weapon on the defense for the Senators.
Yeah, and Kehoe hasn't hit as well as they'd maybe hoped. Power hitter at Iona in New York. Got to bring up the likes of Zachary Malvasio, who homered already in this thing. A 3-run bomb to give more cushioning on a 1-0 lead. Malvasio watching as the 0-1. Pettis, that one lit low on the breaking ball. You asked me this yesterday, and I will ask you it after the 1-1. As Pettis from the wind. This one fouled back to us and directly through the fence. How does it feel for Malvasio? And the 1-2 now. He's homered already. Is he confident at the plate, or does he feel like his job is not done tonight, but that the pressure is a little bit off now that he's got a 3-homer streak already?
Well, I do think that he feels like the pressure's off. He's just out here to swing now, and that's probably the position you want to be in as a batter, not having to think too hard.
Pitch is low. As Malvasio will watch the 2-2.
I think as long as you're not in a complacent mindset as a batter, you're going to find success if you're able to have the confidence.
Here's the pitch from the southpaw Pettis, 2-2. That one low, skipped in there, and he's worked himself to a full count. Has yet to walk this season. He's done a lot more hammering.
Well, we know he likes to swing, and there's a reason he likes to swing, because when he does make contact, it's out of here.
Full count. Pettis trying to not lose another. This one tattooed into left. It's a line drive that's going to get down for a single. Good piece of hitting. It actually gets past the left fielder, so he will have himself a single, and an error will track him to second.
Well, he did just look calm and composed there. Pat knew that at 3-2 is going to have to show him something there, and he sees it and gets a good swing on it. So Malvasio continuing his big hitting streak for the Big Train.
Yeah, on the 3-2, he's going to get a pitch to hit, I think, always. It's a good fastball. Kind of catches him not really ready on the mound, and, I mean, you give up 3, you kind of have to give one to hit if you want to not walk the guy, and he gets on anyway. Always way to second with the error, as that one is in there. The next batter, Casey Carpenter. He singled his first time up, ended up being stranded as the next 2 went down behind him. Pettis looking back, wind, and this one is high fly ball into right field, chasing after it, both Gonzalez and Coombs, who makes a great play on it. And that will end the inning after the first 2 outs. In the third coming there, Carpenter, he leaves one stranded. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network as they try, they being the Senators, to break open a 4-0 lead. Bud Coombs to the dish. Vanderbilt commit, and he is in his second at-bat of the night, second plate appearance. Walked his first time up. Bryce Dolby still delivering the new Cal State Bakersfield commit. Coombs takes a big haddock at the first pitch there and a little mad at himself. That was the one to hit.
When you have to say Dolby, probably appreciative that he gets to see Coombs here with nobody on base here, so a little less pressure for the biggest bat of the Senators.
Sure, Carpenter got to thank you. 0-1, and that one just outside. Good weight from the likes of Coombs. He was one of the 2 runners stranded in the first inning. They've already left 4, down 4-0. Here comes the 1-0 and or 1-1, and that one's in there. Coombs will watch strike 2.
Dolby staying very calm and collective, definitely knowing who he has in the box, but not letting that bother him.
1-2. Big wave at that one, and Coombs goes down swinging. Star player in this lineup. That's his first strikeout of the year.
Huge strikeout from Dolby against the Vanderbilt commit. Dolby really getting his reps in here and probably appreciating also the opportunity to face really high caliber hitters, making his summer experience worth it.
Another one coming here, James Carlson, who he struck out in the first. Carlson tied for the league lead in home runs with Malvasio, who just tied him earlier in the game on the 5th batter of the entire thing. Tattooed a left field ball. One-0 now. Dolby near the pitch. Carlson watches low. 2-0 now. Two-0 count. And Carlson, not the kind of guy you want to leave in a hitter's opportunity. Either going to be a sinker or fastball he sees here. It's the fastball, but that one gets away.
Bounces back towards us, and now 3-0. Guy with a green light for sure.
Kehoe comes and collects the foul ball.
That's a tall dude. 3-0. That one in there, and still a hitter's count. But it's a good pitch for Dolby, who we just mentioned it a few times. Played at Louisiana Tech last year out of the pen. He's got an opportunity to start here. It's his third. 3-1. He'll watch one on the outside corner. It's a heavy fastball. It just doesn't get in there, and it'll bring up the lights of Zach Anderson as Carlson reaches for the first time this night. Dolby trying to fight another batter off. He's given traffic in every inning, 2 so far per inning. Oh, 1 as a foul ball backwards off of Zach Anderson's bat. Anderson out of Binghamton in the Central New York region. Put up a 246 average as this one low, and throw from Gramesty. Nearly gets another runner. Tag is just low. Barely low, and hand is in there. Kind of gets stuck between the two arms of the runner, Carlson.
Brennan Wright unhappy with that call. A little disappointed. Thought he got that tag down in time. Gramesty seeing it early and making a good throw.
Very close throw. I think call was right for sure. Just kind of got under the tag. 1-1, and that one misses again. Dolby behind another batter. Could go the exact same as the start of the second did, with a strikeout swinging and 2 walks. Runner, however, already on second. He'll be aggressive in the box. Anderson looking to add his 12th RBI in the season on as this one is skied in the air. Fly ball. Mirza, the center fielder tonight, settling under it, and he gets the second out of the inning.
Good fly out for the big train there. And a spot that is able to keep the runner over at second, and just needs one more to keep this one scoreless for the big train.
Kieran Kehoe, stands in now, like you mentioned, and the very tall first baseman is kind of, well, first off, not so sure he's 6'8". Gramesty's 5'8", keep that in mind. Not too much taller, so might be getting some favorable scale, but he is still extremely tall.
Maybe 6'8" with the spikes.
That's a good point. He is definitely at least 6'6", and to be clear, guy's still very tall. 1-0. Line drive, right side. This one gets through. Runner will come second, third. Carlson stops there, and Kehoe has himself a single. He'll move the runner over. Now corners with 2 outs for Jax Nichols.
Now batting, number 5, Jax Nichols.
Tennessee native out of Bluffton. Big spot for him here in his second year with Southern Maryland. A homer already in that season, looking to drive in what would be his 12th career RBI, his 5th this year. So 26 games for the Senators last year. That's as many as they'll play at home. Dolby, runners at the corners, fouls this one back.
Into the trees behind us. That foul ball for strike 1 to Dolby.
Or 0 for 1 on the day as he struck out to start the second inning against Dolby. Trying to avoid that same fate to end the third. Oh, 1. This one popped on the infield. Machado settling under it, and he's got the third out. Big Train escape another and strand another 2 runs. Good night tonight for everybody hitting around in their side, but not good enough to bring them home. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. They sit up 4-0 as we head to the top of that very inning 4. Ryan Fuscolo leads things off here for these Big Train in the top half now of the fourth inning. Wow, excuse me. 0 for 1 and Eddie struck out.
Scolo sees that first pitch in the zone for strike 1. Still trying to find his hitting so far this season.
When he has hit the ball, it's been pretty hard. Almost all of his hits have been in the slugging category. He still hit pretty well, but definitely tuned up as of late. Started off a little cold. 1-1. This one into left. It's a fly ball. Coming in on it is the left fielder. He has to make a diving stop, and he got down. It's going to be a double for Fuscolo. Unsure of it immediately, but it got under him. A good piece of hitting, and Fuscolo is reached with another extra base hit, a double to lead things off in the 4th.
Well, you just mentioned there, and Fuscolo showcasing it, that he really does have a lot of slug in his bat, and that one hitting a good spot. Thought the left fielder might have been able to make that play. Looks like it might have just bounced out of his glove.
It's Pettis' 4th inning of work. Nobody going in the pen just yet. It's pretty much expected to go 4-5 here, and I think they're anticipating, even with the hits, 4 at the least, as that one is just off the glove behind the dish of Nichols. Nichols, the battery tonight, with Pettis, who is a Georgia State Panther. Comes the 1-0 from the lefty Pettis. Saw it off, and half swing from TJ Gramesty, who's standing in now. And so now 1-1 count to him. 0 for 1 in the day. He flew out to left earlier. Pettis, 1 on second. It's Fuscolo. He's pretty far off, but not far enough to warrant a throw just yet. 1-1, and that one just a little low. Good eye from Gramesty. He's a little lower in center of gravity. He's not hit the ball that well this season. He's walked really well. 2-1. This one in the air to center field. It's a hard hit into the gap, and Bud Coombs, fantastic grab on the liner as Fuscolo has to go back, and he leaps and makes maybe a catch at the wall. I'm not sure how deep that was because of our angle. That one may have been a home run robbery.
Well, Bud Coombs showing everybody in this park tonight why he's committed to a very good D1 baseball program. He has not just prowess in the batter's box, but in the field as well. So big play from Coombs to not continue to let more big train runners through.
Mirza the batter now, and you mentioned that with Coombs. He'll be anchoring it down as a Commodore next season. This one, ground ball right side, past the glove of the diving first baseman Kehoe. Runner Foscolo will try and make his way home as it'll be an RBI double. Lead now 5-0 for Bethesda.
Really nice
Now batting number 6, Logan.
there. Good play from Mirza. He has needed some hitting for him, and just really a good spot and able to keep that one just fair along the line. So Jackson Mirza over at second base. Ryan Foscolo coming home.
That one, strike one on the low portion. And we have 20 concurrent viewers. I'm Carson Cash, joined by Zach Lewis, and just want to remind you, we really appreciate you tuning in for this game. Southern Maryland is now down 5-0 to these big train who've been hitting so well in the previous nights. Kind of cold yesterday, but since the walks have gotten going, they haven't actually needed any. Only one walk tonight. Wright did score on it, but otherwise it's just been good hitting all around. Foscolo scored on a double from Jackson Mirza. 1-1, and the leadoff man, Panett. We'll watch another pitch from Pettis as one starting to warm in the stretching category in the bullpen for the Senators. As Pettis is, I think, a older guy, he's going to have a higher pitch count, so we'll see how long he goes tonight.
Yeah, you know what my favorite thing about Big Train Baseball this week has been, Carson? We've gotten to play all of our games.
Yeah, and 10 p.m. we're actually slated for some thunder. Luckily, the game started at 5, though, and if we are playing a game at 10, we might as well just call it anyway. If we're going through 5 hours, I mean, that's not one you should call A, because it's probably an absurdly good extra innings classic, A. But B, if it's a 10 p.m. rainstorm, I think that would call the game wherever it was. 3-1. Guess if it's in extras, it would be probably tied. Panett swings and misses. Big hack at a fastball. One out for him. Runner on second, trying to move him over at the very least, but would like to at least get a base runner in himself and move the Ryan over to Mirza over to third. That one misses low. It skips away from the catcher Nichols, and he does exactly what he was hoping to do. On the missed throw, it'll be a stolen base. Or on a, wondering if it's pass ball or wild pitch. We'll see the full ruling later. They are obviously tonight in control of the scorebook, and I'm not next to the guy scoring this night. So either way, Panett on a walk.
Regardless there, important Mirza now at third base. Only one out for Brennan Wright up to the bat. He now has an opportunity with contact to bring a runner home, and hoping to do exactly that to stretch the lead for the Big Train.
Right in his second season with the Big Train. A lot more nights than that. Going into his 4th year of college ball, played 2 years at Meridian Community. Played just about 100 games between those 2 years. Just under that mark. He hit very well. Got an opportunity to go to South Alabama and has just thrived since he's got there. He's a very nice guy. Love talking to him. He's friends with a lot of the guys at Troy who just made the College World Series. Made a pretty good run. I believe since have been eliminated. One to him as he watches one go by. Pettis. The pitch. Runner goes, and he lines this one into left. Past the glove of the shortstop. One runner will come home. Panett will round for second to third, and he is in there. Runner goes to second as well. Throw is wayward into the outfield, as this one is going to be another run scored for Panett on the error.
Well, Brennan Wright doing exactly what his job was there, is just to make contact, and the Senators just lose sight of it. Several errors there, and Big Train runners just continue to get through as the ball does not find itself in any of the baseman's glove there for the Senators.
Yeah, I don't know if that ever all that came across. My headset fell off because I stood up, as this is a hard hit ball and a right from Johnson. Under it is Coombsy will get there, make a big throw at it on the sac fly play at the plate, in the way of the runner. Obstruction call. Nichols has to get in the way to get that ball, but he's not looking where right is, and that is a very big collision. They talk afterwards. Manager not happy, but again, we talk about how respectful of a guy Wright is. Make sure the catcher's okay after taking a big hit. Either way, on the sac fly, it is now 7-0 Bethesda. Manager having some words with the umpire, as there's definitely a lot of difficulty in kind of this ruling. Obstruction, he needs to get the ball in one essence, but
a good sportsmanship moment there from Brendan Wright, who just goes right over to the catcher after that play. No smack talk from him, just makes sure and checks on his competitor there. Nice moment to see in these summer ball matches that can get a little heated as well.
yeah, that was a absolute missile from Bud Coombs on the throw. I mean, again, we see why a guy is anchoring it down next season in Nashville, and that is exactly why. That is a pretty good throw. Got a little high on the shorter catcher of Nichols, and he unfortunately did get hit pretty hard. Both of them kind of got knee shots. As Machado skies this one, pop up on the right side, second base. And that will end this frame. Big Train up 7-0. Very good job all around. Jackson Mirza able to get an RBI double, followed by some errors, some scores. Logan Panette driven in by Brendan Wright anyway. All right, back on the Big Train Baseball Network. Just a moment. Welcome back to Bethesda. Well, actually, not really. We're in Waldorf, Maryland, playing against the Senators, their house. Big Train up 8-0. Have made it look like it was theirs. Very good job so far in this thing, as kind of gotten on top of this squad here. Has been very good at home and on the road. 8-4 on the year. Top of their division. We're third, about a game and a half back. First pitch is a strike on swing and a miss to the leadoff man tonight, at least this inning, Jackson Hayes. Line ball right up the middle, gets past the back of Dolby and kind of left one down the middle, a sinker. And leadoff single as they continue to get runners on against Dolby. Have been unable to convert, 6 stranded through their 3 innings of hitting so far. Nothing in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, Bethesda came to that. Ryan Foscolo doubled in the fourth, doubled in by Mirza. Mirza was moved over to third by Logan Panett on a walk that was a wild pitch on the fourth ball. Brandon Wright singled Mirza in, and then Cal Johnson had a sacrifice fly. Following that, Machado that ended the inning on a pop fly. Brandon Wright's throw was a bit interesting, though, as Panett also scored on that single. It was not an RBI, as it was on an error. So, 1-0 lead, or 1-0 count lead. Welcome back to Bethesda, and that one will start with a plunk. Ryan Foscolo is hit by a breaking ball, and he'll make his way over to first with some chatter about. Big Train, so if you've missed it, which you have, unfortunately, did get the last batter and the bottom of the fourth. They did strike out Gonzalez to end the inning. Now in the fifth, they have already gotten a run. It is the likes of Zachary Malvazio, who continued his hot streak tonight. Already homered, but he did get a single down, so 3 for 3 on the day. Ended up stealing a base, and then ended up being scored by the next man, Casey Carpenter, who's at second right now as Foscolo at first. Carpenter reached on a steal, and still no outs to start this frame. New pitcher on the mound to start this inning was Ethan Adams of Georgia State. So back-to-back Georgia State pitchers for them. Adams, a righty out of Anchorage, Alaska. Trying to get some ice in his veins, but he's being thawed by this evening heat. 0-1, Big Trainer bringing it. Pitch from Adams is another bunt attempt from Gramesty. Misses high, it's a ball. It's the bottom of the fifth. Big Train. 1 run this inning already. Gramesty in the box. Thought about a bunt. Doing it again, and he pulls back. It's missed high, and Adams continues a rough season so far. Before entering the game, he had a 3 whip, which is not good. It means on average he loads the bases at least every inning. 14.4 ERA. Has definitely seen better days, most of those coming off of 1 inning of work that was not exactly where he'd hoped it to be. It's done better since. 2-1, and a ground ball off the bunt of Gramesty, and save at the bag. He dives for it and gets it. Kehoe isn't quick enough. Bases loaded and a gritty play. That's how you win ugly.
How explosive is that play from TJ Gramesty? I mean, he makes the huge leap with a Superman dive and gets the base. Kehoe just not expecting that burst from Gramesty, and his bunt allows him to get to first base. Loads the bases for the Big Train. Incredible scrappy play from the catcher for the Big Train.
Some grit to get on. Now the 1-for-2 batter doubled his last time up, brought home some runs with the bases juiced. Adams struggling to hit the zone, and we will see how much time he has got on this mound before the Big Train kind of come down and descend upon him. Pettis leaving the game with 8 runs given up. Not exactly the night he had hoped for, but had a good night either way prior, and his second outing just not it for him. Gave up 7 hits, 7 runs, 8 of them earned. 8 runs, 7 of them earned. As Adams will have a brief conversation with Nichols, who batteried with Pettis. Had 2 walks, but did end up striking 2 out. Not the day they were hoping for. Big Train visiting Southern Maryland. We're in Waldorf, right?
Waldorf, Maryland here
Pretty
at
near.
North Point High School.
Pretty near Annapolis?
Yeah, pretty close to the Annapolis area. Definitely Southern Maryland. It's funny
Definitely
because
Southern Maryland.
Bethesda definitely could be considered Southern Maryland with it just outside DC as well.
Pickoff attempt. There's the throwback from the catcher. Is a fantastic work as the bullpen make of our own. Poking a little fun at Gramesty over there at first, who did not get back there in time because he's been throwing runners out all season. And he has played victim to his own trick.
Yes, a taste of his own medicine there, Gramesty. And obviously, if you make yourself such a dynamic player, that ball in there for strike 1, count 3-1 to Mirza. If you make yourself such a dynamic player, you definitely leave yourself open to a little bit of rubbing and ridicule from your teammates.
9-0 on the Big Train Baseball Network. 3-1 is missed inside to Mirza.
Ribbing from your team.
Mirza on a first to replace the caught a little bit of sleep at first, Gramisty, who was thrown out. He'll move his way, replace it, and only one out was Gramisty. Adams, stretch work, and he's able to get the first pitch in there to leadoff man Panette. Panette, a gritty ball player, moving on to his third school next year in George Mason.
Carson, for you, what do you think the difference is that led to so much more hitting and scoring from the Big Train tonight?
Part of it is patience. You don't really need to walk, you just need to be patient, and they weren't swinging it early as when they needed to. They were kind of letting the man Pettis get him into a hole, and sometimes they do hit better against lefties flat. They see it better out of the hand in a pretty righty-heavy lineup, and even the lefties were hitting well tonight. But
do you think that the way that the Crop Dusters play, see that pitch, another big swing from Panette. Crop Dusters obviously play for a lot of contact, swing at a lot of balls. Do you think that kind of has an impact on your offense as you try to kind of maybe match their style a little bit?
Yeah, and part of it is, hey, we need to hit the strike zone, and we need to make sure these guys aren't getting walked for the pitchers. And for them, they're trying to replicate it, but they are walking guys. They're all putting guys into 2-0 counts, which, you only saw a few times all game against Olney as Panette takes a big hack at that one. Can't get a bite out of it. 2 outs. He goes down swinging. He's now 0 for 3 on the day. Will serve as the second out, paving way for Brennan Wright. RBI single his last time up. But they're more aggressive today. They're able to make better contact for whatever reason. And a lot of that comes in the fact that they aren't afraid to take a ball. They know they're getting pitches to hit, but they know that they're also going to get into better counts with how much the first pitch has been a ball. It's just, they get into hitter situations. They're going to continue to go on as the first pitch is a ball. It's all right.
Yeah, whoever gets ahead in these situations, it seems like really gives them the peace of mind to just do what they do best, which is the Big Train have a lot of big bats in this lineup as Brennan Wright gets underneath this one, sends it into center field, right into the glove of the center fielder for the Senators. That'll do it for the bottom of the 5th. We'll see you in the top of the 6th, 9-0.
1 run scored. They strand 3. Bradley Gagan, the man on the mound for the big train, and he will have a 9-run lead and will get a chance to try and lower his season ERA of 18, my friend. 3.29 whip to his name. This is his 5th appearance as this one slugged back towards us and lands right there in the trees. Batter Chase Fulford as they turn the lineup over after going 3 up, 3 down the unconventional way with a double play. And an 0-1 count now as Gagan, who's only had 1 inning out of his 7 that have gone scoreless. That one in there now. 0-2 count to Fulford, who is 1 for 2 on the day.
And if you feel like you heard the name Gagan last night and not from the mound, you would be correct. Jack Gagan has joined us. His brother, who is a catcher, played actually last summer for the Southern Maryland Senators.
Missed outside, and now a 1-2 count from Gagan, who struggled a lot with the walk this season. He has conceded 6 of them, but a lot of it has been hits as well. Still a higher number on this staff, 1-2. Breaking ball, and Gramsci can't come up with it. It's a ball. Gagan, a lefty out of Eastern Kentucky. His brother out of a Division II school in Virginia, 2-2, and big wave at that one. Fulford down on strikes for the first time tonight. Not too often that happens this season, but his brother, as I was saying, on the mound, definitely proud. He's in the dugout tonight, but he's in the portal. He played last year at Tuscaloosa.
Jack Gagan, an important addition for this big train team that is now rather short on catchers, with Pichardo leaving for some official visits. He was in the transfer portal.
That one low. It's to Bud Coombs. He's 0 for 1 today. Struck out, power threat, committed to Vanderbilt. Bit of a smaller guy. He's not a lot of power, though. 1-0. I mean, smaller guy. He's smaller in terms of the Senator squad, who is kind of unreasonably tall. He's 5'11", 200. That's about what I stand at. But not at all. I was kidding. But 2-0. Big wave at that one. Hitters count, and he tried to take that one out of the ballpark. He's already done it twice this season. Once on Tuesday, a grand slam. Once on Wednesday, also a grand slam. Entering Thursday, he's trying to go for his 3rd home run in a row. 2-1 from Gagan, who's given up a lot of hitters' pitches this season, is now a 3-1.
I'm curious if you know this one, Carson.
Okay.
Who is the shortest player in the MLB to ever hit a home run?
To ever hit a home run? Jose Altuve? 3-1. Big wave, and the 3-2. He goes on a full count on a low changeup. He just wants to get a hit. Kind of a little impatient at the dish. Just thought that one might be a good enough one, but it did sink. I think it'd be Jose Altuve. Maybe not. Maybe Jeff Bagwell. I don't remember being that short, though. 3-2. Just outside, and he's got himself another walk on the day. Bud Coombs productive at the dish. 2 walks already to load the base for his teammates.
Now batting number 13, James Carlson.
Bringing up James Carlson, the left fielder. He struck out once already. Also got a walk. He's been stranded before as well on that. Did have a stolen base at least. First pitch is in there. It's a strike as Carlson waves at 1. 0-1. Stretch work for Gagan as this one up the middle, saw it off right side, and this one gets through between Carpenter and Right. A single to lead things off, and now 2 more runners on. Last inning, the only time that a runner was not stranded. Still a shutout going for these Big Train, who last time they went on. Do you have an answer on that question for me?
I don't have an exact answer. The smallest player in the history of the game is Eddie Gadel, who is only 3'7". Several players in the 5'3" to 5'5" range. Stubby Magner of the Yankees. Willie Keller.
Oh, I was not close. 5'6" Andy Euler of the 1902. It's an inside the park home run. I don't know if we were looking for outside the park homers, but 1-0. Euler died in 1970. He's 5'6". Played from 1902 to 18.
Jose Altuve is also not currently the shortest player in the league,
Whoa.
with Jorge Barosa.
Luis Daniel Acuna is down there, I know. 2-0. As well as, there's a lot of short guys. Yuki Matsui of the Padres, Ozzy Albies of the Braves. Those are a lot of guys who definitely are proving that you don't need to be any kind of tall to play ball. 3-0. Been very good in the majors. As Zach Anderson standing in. He sees a pitch on the low side that is able to get there in the strike zone. Runners on second and first in the bottom here of the 5th. 3-1 dish. If you're just joining us, you've got a pretty good game going here at North Point High School on the 3-1 from Gagan. More stretch work for the lefty in his first inning, and this one sawed off foul behind us. I'm Carson Cass with Zach Lewis beside me. And a pretty good offensive day. Not a lot of walks like yesterday at home, but a lot of damage done for these Big Train. 3-2. Full count now, and they'll do dance with a runner on second and first.
Well, why walk when you can get a base hit?
Sawed off over to the shortstop, and a misplay from Machado just bounces over his glove, collected in the outfield by Hack and, by Mirza. And that will be a RBI, potentially, depending on how this one is ruled. We will see if it is ruled as either a single or as a E6. Don't have it just yet, but when we get there, we will let you know.
Unfortunate way for the Big Train to give up their first run of the game. Unlucky from Gagan as well, because he done well, fought himself back in the count, and then a weird hop and kind of a defensive error there led to the runner able to reach and score a run as well.
Gagan now against Kieran Kehoe. Runners in the same spot, same out count. Second and third. Second now, Bud Coombs. First now, James Carlson. Not at third, I apologize. Misspoke. It is an error by Machado that is able to plate Anderson, so he's uncredited with an RBI and an unearned run for Gagan to start things off as one scores in Coombs. That throw low as Gramesty was going to try and come up and get the runners were going. So Bud scores, and after he walked, Carlson singles. He's over to third on the stolen base. Anderson reaches on error. He's over to second for Kieran Kehoe as the count now at ones. 9-1 Big Train. Counts ones. Sawed off up the middle. Gagan chases the runner at third, and he's going to try and tag him. Throw back to the middle, and we have a pickle. Carlson slips a little bit after the throw to Gramesty. Going to be a play at the plate, and a good bit of base running as Carlson is in there.
Misplaced throw there to the pitcher, Bradley Gagan. Made it so they were not successful in getting the out in the pickle.
So Carlson scores. Anderson will reach on an error at shortstop. And then Kieran Kehoe will reach on a fielder's choice. Runners at the corners now, and first pitch a little bit on the outside corner to Jax Nichols, the catcher. Another error. 1-0. Strike one, and good pitch on the low end to Nichols. Kagan trying to get further out of this jam. Runners at the corners for him. He's had a lot of work with traffic on. He's been very good once it's got there after finding his changeup. 1-1 sawed off towards the shortstop Machado. Second, and double play not made just yet. Tough play from Brennan Wright, who's just kind of going after a fast runner in Nichols, and fielder's choice will reach Nichols and extinguish Kehoe. Runner will get home, and now a 9-3 ball game as Anderson scores.
Senators obviously needing a way to come back in this and just finding it through good base running and making contact, but also just a few errors creeping in for the big train in this now, not being quite as precise with their fielding in this fifth inning. Getting away from them a little bit, and close play with Carpenter at first. But not able to complete the double play.
Pickoff from the backstop as Gramercy tries to get the man at first. Only one runner on now as the man at the corner came in, 1-0 count. Big wave at that one from Jackson Hayes. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Had himself a single last inning. So no RBIs yet to come for any of these squads other than Kehoe and Nichols, for this Senator squad. Plenty so far for the big train. They've got themselves 3 runs in the fifth, trying to extend this. 2 outs, and this one a hard hit into right, and we'll get down fair. Extra bases for Nichols, picked up in the corner by Malvasio. He'll stop there at second. Play will come to the plate, and they won't make the throw in time. An RBI double. Hard hit given up by Gagan, and now a 9-4 ball game. They're etching back into this one, trying to find and scrape their way into a close enough distance.
Well, the bat's staying hot for the Senators and able to get themselves in scoring position. Scoring position leads to runs if you can connect hits, and they do here. Lead is now cut down to 5 for the big train.
Batters Jack Ewart. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded into a double play last time up, and the first pitch misses from Gagan. Lefty going into a older year at Eastern Kentucky. A year older than his brother. Gagan himself now entering his senior season, redshirt senior season, as 1-0 is in there. Formerly played at Tennessee and Walter State Community College. Did not play at Tennessee. One now is Gagan still trying to find his way out of this one with 2 outs. Pickoff attempt, and not much doing there. Righty in the box, Ewart, the second baseman out of Wooford.
Gagan's actually done all right from the mound today. Been putting it in the zone often and drawing kind of soft contact, but the fielding not really been backing him up so far.
Yeah, and part of it is I think you just kind of got to go get the out there on his own fielder's choice. We tried to get the lead runner. It's a big enough lead. You got to just kind of try and get you out at first. Some part of that is trying to make sure, hey, I don't want to let it run. I want to keep my team where it is. And that totally makes sense for Gagan, but 1-2. Pickle didn't go the way they had hoped, as a big swing at that one. Gagan gets Ewart swinging. So 3 runs on 2 hits for their side, 1 error, and a lot of fielders' choice is a walk as well. Led to the top of the 6th. Big Train looked to try and get their lead back to 9 as they have given up 4 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. We're right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. So 2 earned runs given up, 4 total by Bradley Gagan. Another kind of unlucky outing. Gave up a lot of good contact and a lot of it soft, but just fielding couldn't come around him. Gets 2 strikeouts as well. Lefty Gagan will still leave this game with a lead, or still leave that inning with a lead. Might play further. 5 innings down. We head to the top of the 6th, and the first pitch to Cal Johnson, who was the 3rd man in this lineup. Pretty interesting night for everybody involved, as some defensive substitutions as well. Chase Fulford to be replaced by Cole Rame, as ground ball right side off Johnson's bat. This one foul. And the left fielder, James Carlson, who may have gotten injured, kind of came up a little gingerly when he stole on the pickle that ended up scoring a run. Josh Saronis comes in at left. So they'll get some opportunities to sit down and enjoy the rest of this one. 1-1. To Johnson, and he will lay off a pitch outside. Still on the mound is Ethan Adams. Good day for him. Previously has not been so tonight. He gave up, fortunately, a run in the earlier mess, but did manage to get out of that jam. 2-1 count now to Johnson. Pitch from the righty out of Alaska. And this one's foul back in the air to the left side.
Johnson looking to find his streak of hitting that he had last night. 2 singles and a triple. This time he's the leadoff man in the inning. Just looking to get himself on base and let his teammates back him up.
2-2 count. Adams trying to get rid of the first batter. As he does. Good pitch and a swing and a miss by Johnson. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Had a sac fly last time out, so still contributing, but just not the day he had hoped for. Daniel Machado will be brought to the plate. Switch hitter will have his first opportunity from the other side. Same case for Cal Johnson. Neither of them went up against the righty last time. He'll bat from the lefty spot. 0-1 count as he takes strike 1. Adams. Good breaking pitch, and that one in there again. Machado trying to settle in, choke up a little. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Had an RBI single in the first. Continued to do well with runners in scoring position. That's very essential, I think, for this team to keep moving on, as we didn't see a lot yesterday, even with 2 outs. Just not a lot of hitting with runners on. 3 for 13 in that case. 0-2. Big wave at that one, and Adams strikes out the first 2 he sees in this 6th inning.
Adams coming for blood here in the 6th. Senators giving a sight at the lead, bringing in 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and now a good show of pitching from Adams makes this game feel a whole lot closer than it did.
Zachary Malvazio comes to the dish now. He's 3 for 3 on today. 1 stolen base, excuse me. And already a 3-run homer that left the yard. He scored there and scored in the 5th. Was the first run to be plated as he led off that 5th inning where the big train scored 1. Comes in with 2 outs. Was stranded earlier in such a case. 1-0 as Adams looking to strike out the side here. Good fastball is in there. Just caught that low portion of the plate. One now from Adams. Righty misses, and now a 2-1 count. The man tied for the league lead in homers with the man that was just replaced in left as Josh Saronis comes in. James Carlson will end his day at 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. Two-one. Pitch. And this one sawed off up the middle right to Adams. He will try and dodge the tag, but Adams will be able to get Malvazio 3 up, 3 down. They retire the side in order. We'll be back on the bottom half of the 6th inning as the big train look to stop a 4-run bleeding as Gagan returns to the mound in the bottom of the 6th. Braylon Gonzalez to lead things off for the Senators, who just scored 4 unanswered earned last inning. Gagan returns to the mound. Lefty will try and keep his day moving through 30 pitches in that inning. Kind of unlucky there, gave up a few hits. Some softer contact that definitely could have gotten down, and just kind of unlucky placement of where those ball ended up. Gonzalez 0 for 2 on the day on a sac bunt and a strikeout. Was the last strikeout victim of Bryce Dolby, who had a good day tonight. He racked up 3 Ks, or 4 Ks, excuse me, in his 4 innings pitched.
Well, like you said, I mean, obviously 4 runs got past there with him on the mound, but I'm kind of coming in weird situation as he gets another strike there to go up in the count. 1-2. Not really entirely his fault on a lot of those kind of weird situations with the outfield, and an interesting pickle play that the ball just got away and runner was able to get in. So,
oh, third punch out of the game for Gagan. He does it himself. Down goes Braylon Gonzalez for the second time, and he was nowhere near that changeup. It's these second innings we see of Gagan that I want to see more of, where he seems like he's a lot more centered and understanding that he does have strikeout stuff. He's given up a lot of contact. All of it, there's been very few hard contacts. But when he's in the zone, when he's locked in, from the left side, he's pretty much unstoppable in the box. I mean, he started the inning out by striking out Chase Fulford, nearly struck out Bud Coombs, but his last throw kind of got away from him. 1-0 Eastern Kentucky senior upcoming, as he will pitch to the new leadoff man, Cole Rame, in his first AB. Strike 1 on the lower portion of the plate. Good changeup. We're talking all about that because that is his best pitch, but when he leaves it in the zone, it can be really dangerous.
yeah, obviously a pitch kind of hanging over the zone like that will be something that Senator bats will want to get at. But like you said, they'll be showing, especially with the caliber of player that he is able to strike out, that, you know, he deserves his recognition, and it's a top player in this league.
He has been hilariously unlucky, I think. A lot of soft contact given up. A lot of it just going in the exact wrong place, as this one fouled back towards us. Won't strike us. And it's 2-2 count to Rame. He's a bat of the University of Richmond. He'll take over the shortstop spot from Chase Fulford. Redshirted his senior year, his first year there. And currently hitting at a .321 chip with a .568 OBP. 2-2, he's seeing the ball very well. Gagan will deliver a low curve, and he doesn't get him. That one just low. could have been called either way. It just dropped out from the front of the back of the strike zone, and it's looked like it might have been a strike. 3-2. Lined up the middle and chasing after it is the center fielder who can't get there. Mirza chasing after it. Went for a good play and couldn't get there. Double given up by Gagan. And we talk about how close and the ripple effect of some of these things here.
Ball hit hard in the gap between center and right field there.
Mirza tried to get ahead of it and just couldn't get there in time. So 2 bags given up as Bud Coombs comes to the plate on a 2-game homer streak for the Vanderbilt commit. He's got a lot of power in that bat, already displaying it. Back-to-back grand slams in his last 2 nights. First pitch to Coombs. He's given up a few hittable ones to him earlier as Gagan will miss on the low portion of the plate. So has to stab at it, Gramercy does. Gagan delivers from the left side, and a high changeup is unable to touch the zone. Two-0. Sun beginning to set here at North Point High School. It's bottom of the 6th inning, and this one is hard into the right field. Chasing after it is Malvasio at the track. This one is gone. Bud Coombs, 3 straight games with a homer. Boy, he might be swinging with an anchor.
Well, if you had to pick someone from each team to hit home run, it would have been Malvasio for the Big Train. And guess who would it have been for the Senators? Bud Coombs. And he absolutely shows his prowess here. That ball is mashed. Malvasio gives it a courtesy jog towards the fence, but he knows as soon as that's off the bat that that one's gone over the fence. And both big hitters for each team now have themselves a home run in this game, and all of a sudden, close ball game, 9-6, Big Train.
It's tough. Bud Coombs is a fantastic hitter this season. Fantastic hitter last year at Maryland. He posted a 1.2 OPS. 1,200 in the OPS category is just absurd, as the first pitch is a miss to the first at-bat for Josh Soronis. He replaces James Carlson, the left fielder, and this game is very close. 9-6 off of the homer given. Bud Coombs just can't give him a hittable pitch, and on 2-0 you kind of got in towards the zone there. Is this one a pop ball in the left side? A lot of room to work with in foul territory, but it's a long run for Panetta, and he can't get there. 1-1 the count now after the foul from Soronis. Rising freshman committed to Delaware in his now 32nd plate appearance. 1-1. High, and now a 2-1 count to Soronis. And he waved at it. Soronis now into a 2-2 count. Gagan trying to find another strikeout. Already 3 today. Two-two. Hit in, fouled left side. Little stay alive swing as Soronis reaches out. 6'1", 200 pounds. He's from Gaithersburg. That is a far drive every day, let me tell you. 2-2. To Soronis. And the lefty southpaw delivers for the Big Train. And in there, caught him looking as Soronis is set down on strikes. He'll serve as the second out. Zach Anderson to the dish.
Always impressed by a pitcher when they're able to come off of a home run ball that they throw and come and strike the next batter out. I think it shows a lot of maturity and a lot of just betting on yourself continually and not letting the past affect your next at bat too much?
1-0 count now to the next batter in the order. Pinch hitter. It's the likes of Kai Lewin coming in for Zach Anderson. Lewin, a lefty. As this game is pretty close, I'm not sure I agree. But Kai Lewin says otherwise. He hits one pretty hard into the gap in right. Mirza, good play. Just reaches out for it, and he lines out. Kai Lewin, the third out tonight, and in this sixth inning, excuse me. Top of the seventh, Big Train now kind of in a closer game, up 9-0, but 6 unanswered from the Senators, coming off of Bud Coombs. The Vanderbilt commits destruction of a ball to right. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network, 9-6 Bethesda. Big Train have themselves a 9-6 lead as Bryce Palms will come out of the bullpen to try and hold it. A good outing from Ethan Adams, who did not look like he was going to have one. Had a pretty difficult start. Loaded the bases against him immediately, and then actually got out of it only allowing 1 run. As now to the plate is Ryan Foscolo, who is actually on deck, so it's Casey Carpenter. One in the right side, Kehoe trying to get after it as second baseman will take over, and a dazzling play. That is, wow.
That's a really nice one. Catch over the back of his head. For those familiar with the New York Giants, maybe Odell Beckham-esque?
Yeah, I mean, he goes fully over his head. I mean, not as good as that. Odell Beckham's leaping in that. Come on, give the legend some credit.
It's true.
You know, that guy's not going to make the Hall of Fame. Would you believe that if you had told your younger self that?
No, that would make me sad.
Still am a little sad about that. And that's okay. So, first out is a pop fly.
Does technically have a Super Bowl ring with the Rams.
He does. He actually played in that game. He was actually really solid during that playoff.
He was, and he got injured in that game.
0-1. Very early, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of their wide receiver 1 at a point in that NFC Championship. 9-6, way too close of a ball game to be talking about the 2022 NFC Championship and Super Bowl, I think. 1-1. Bears did good last year. That's all I really care about. Foscolo is 1 for 2 on the day. That one misses low. He took a hit by pitch and gave some chatter to Adams, who's now left this game. One of his only 2 walks.
And we absolutely won't fall into talking about rumors such as Aaron Donald coming back and playing.
Oh, God, I hope he does. Golly, that would be fun. 2-1. Excuse me, Golly. 2-1, and line up the middle. This one gets down a single for Foscolo, and it gets away from the center fielder, Coombs. Kind of bounces off his knee. It's not going to result in extra bases, so goes down as a single with no extra added on, and that was weird.
Yeah, Coombs maybe watching too much World Cup, trying to control that with his feet and knee there, but
I mean,
doesn't result in too much extra room there as just gets over to first base for Foscolo.
kind of interesting. I think he just got into a divot and just bounced to his left, which is odd. Obviously, it's not how physics work. First pitch now to the man behind, and that's TJ Gramesty. Righty batter, he's got his first hit in a while. Baseball going on around the world. Mets up on 2-1 on the Phillies. Sorry, Grace, our statistical leader. I actually don't know her title. I just know that she owns the stats and does all this TrackMan stuff with the big train. She's really important. And she's very nice. 1-0. So sorry to her as her Phillies are down 2-1. This one fouled back, like quite literally directly on us. We'll see if we have to move. We won't. And the pop fly lands to our right. Good commentating of what might have been my demise, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't actually see where that one went, and I was really hoping it wasn't going to be on top of my head, just maybe 15 yards to the right.
I'll say it, and maybe I should ask what I wish for, but I hope we get a ball hit right at us. Pop fly. On a pop fly. And wind picking up here. 1-1. This one popped back a little further than it was earlier, and now a 1-2 count on Gramesty as he's behind the pitcher Bryce Palms, who just came in. I apologize, fastball. I mentioned him very briefly at the beginning of the at-bat as it kind of resulted in a hit very early. The lefty is out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, went to Delmatha Catholic, so was high school teammates with his center fielder, Coombs. Grace is the director of data analytics. Kind of similar to what I said. She's still very important. That does not change with that title. 2-2.
It does not.
Lefty Palms out of Youngstown State last year at a 3.3 ERA. That one misses. And the southpaw has been pretty good this season. 4.91 ERA, only coming in starts. This is his first appearance out of the pen.
Remind me what the Youngstown State mascot is?
It's a penguin with a fun scarf. 3-2. Palms, southpaw delivers, and ground ball left side, just barely fair. Going to be extra bases for Gramesty as this one's pretty deep into the reaches of left field. Foscolo at third. He's going to try and get his way home. Throw will be in time, but is it safe? No! He's safe at the bag. It's not even remotely over the head of Jax Nichols. Just past his arm. And a ill throw from the new shortstop, Cole Rame. Scores the run. Definitely beat him, but it'll go down as an RBI double, maybe triple for TJ Gramesty. We'll see how it's scored. He certainly was getting to second no matter what.
Well, not the guy you expect with a lot of power off his bat, but Gramesty, big swing, and that one carries all the way back along the line to the left side fence. Easily brings a run in with a wayward throw at home plate.
Brings up Jackson Mirza, who's already had a RBI double in this thing as the first pitch from Palms misses. Mirza watches. Gramesty at third, so one runner on, one out. He's got sac fly territory. They will call it a TJ Gramesty double. And fielder's choice reaches him to third, and low throw again, Mirza. We'll watch. So an RBI to his total tonight. Pretty good day for him. Now 2 for 4 over at third. Foscolo scores as Mirza takes a big hack on that one. 2-1 count. He's 1 for 2 with a backwards K and a double that scored Foscolo earlier.
Well, any day that you have TJ Gramesty in your lineup is going to be an electric one, no matter what happens for him. And he's had some exciting plays already so far today. Good to see him add a hit there as well.
2-2 count for number 2 Mirza. That's from the left side of the University of South Florida. Here comes the southpaw Palms as this one skied in the air on the infield. Kind of ranging into outfield territory, bloop territory, but good ranging back from the second baseman Ewert, who you mentioned today looked like a wide receiver when he made that pop fly catch, and did it there. Went back on his right hand, just made a good catch on it. Way over his shoulder, and he has to reach for it. But it brings up Logan Panette at the top of the order as Mirza flies out to go to the top of the order.
And a good play there as well, keeping Gramesty in. That is in the zone for strike one to Panette.
First pitch, you mentioned in there, it's a low fastball. Panette's been crushing those. He gets a high one over to third base, hits a missile collected by the third baseman. Throw is in time. You have a first baseman that's 6'8". It makes those throws a little easier. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. One run is plated by the double from TJ Gramesty, and we'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. Big Train will see Tyrese Johnson here, the big right-hander out of UT Martin, just committed there after a season where he won a national championship at the JUCO D2 level with Pearl River Community College. He's got a 3 ERA. This will be his third appearance on the mound this year, and he's pitching a 3 ERA with a 1.3 whip. This guy has been good out of the pen for Bethesda. Two-way player, and the first pitch is in there on the inside. It's a ball. To the likes of Kieran Kehoe. He'll come to the dish now in this 7th inning. That one misses again, and 2-0. Walked his first batter every time. First game he was appeared in. The first pitch hit the batter in the head. Hit by pitch started there, and inside again. 3-0 to Kehoe. That one in there. He's got his fastball in for a strike. It's a 3-1 dish from Johnson, and that one misses high. So things started off here in a 4-run deficit now as the Bleeding semi-stopped by the Big Train as they get that 3-run deficit backed up to 4. Kehoe on to first. It brings up Jax Nichols, the catcher. Righty catcher out of Tennessee. Skips it in there, and the wild pitch is out of play. It's a rare one, and so the runner will have second automatically. He would have got it anyway, but not too common you see one of those.
Well, if there's a word to describe Johnson's pitching, I think it would definitely just be powerful. When he is finding the zone, he's really hard to hit against because he does pelter it, but that ball far too high again for Gramsci, all the way back into the backstop. Runner gets all the way over to third base on another wild pitch.
A brief meeting with Johnson, who's thrown 2 wild pitches this at bat. Got the runner over to third, and they don't want to score him without any balls in play just yet. It's a closer game. Johnson not this wild in his first few appearances, as they'll have a brief talk to him. Just needs to get under control. He's kind of got his arm a bit on the early release. He's very good. He's thrown in the zone plenty of times and has been very efficient. He's already got 4 strikeouts this season. But he does need to find a way to, calm himself down a little bit and make sure he can get it in and get a batter on him. He's only walked 1 batter via base on balls. Danger of walking 2 in the same game. He missed it. 9-0 lead for Bethesda to start things off, and Kagan saw a pretty tough lineup finally get it going in the Senators, as was capped off by a 2-run homer from Bud Coombs. It was his second and first RBI on the night. He walked twice already today, but he's 1 for 2 in that. 3-0, and that one on the inside corner. Jax Nichols walks as it barely misses. And now runners at the corners, no outs. Jackson Hayes, who doubled an RBI in his last time up, will come to the dish.
Number 9, Jackson Hayes.
North Point Field here as we are in Waldorf, Maryland. Johnson trying to get things going as he's got 2-1, throw low, and another ball. So 10 pitches to start things off. He's thrown 9 balls, walked 2 batters, 2 wild pitches. And things getting out of sorts here potentially as they bloom towards the end of this lineup. Johnson hard to hit, but he's been struggling to get in the zone as a man going in the pen now.
Yeah, Johnson just not really able to find the control so far. And you wonder how long he'll last if he can't find it quickly here.
Finds the strike zone now, 2-1, and he'll try and put himself together. That's a start. That one just on the low portion of the zone. Good pitch. Two, and if they win this one, they'll go into a season rubber match. They only play 3 this year. That one outside, and now a full count to the next batter, Hayes. He is 2 for 2 on the day. Hit him right in the elbow pad, and another batter on. We will see how long Johnson will go. In these closer games, they've been pretty careful about leaving a man on who just doesn't have it. And Johnson, bases loaded. He is not any stranger to traffic. The UT Martin Skyhawk stands back in. He's got the bottom of the lineup to go here. And I honestly don't doubt that he could find a way to strike this guy out, get into a double play, because he has had only high-pressure situations that he's put himself in the first pitch. Just outside, and very close, could have been called either way. One nothing, Johnson. That one misses inside again, barely. Close pitches. Two-0. Cheers from the dugout and skipped in there. TJ Gramsci does well to get that one. And a 3-0 count. Bases loaded. Big jam for Johnson. Trying to avoid the RBI walk to draw them within 3 again. Tying run at the plate. Strike one in there. That one misses inside, an RBI walk for Jack Ewart. 10-7. Senators have themselves another base runner. This field pretty quiet, high tension, as that is now the first RBI in the night for Ewart. Braylon Gonzalez comes to the dish, 0 for 3. That will be the end of Tyrese Johnson's night. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. See a reliever come in and try and exhaust this one. Bases loaded, 10-7 our score, no outs. It's Capuano, the Jordan variety. Jordan Capuano into this game as the Big Train look to try and relieve something in here, trying to find their way out of a bases loaded jam with no outs. Man on third is Jax Nichols, the catcher. Second is Jackson Hayes, the third baseman, and another Jack on first. They'll be trying to get in by Braylon Gonzalez. Gonzalez this season wearing the number 11 as opposed to last year he had at Binghamton. He wore a 40 number, but had a very good year with the Binghamton Bearcats. 441 OBP, got on base a lot, an 861 OPS, slugged a heck of a lot out of the ball for a smaller batter. A lot of doubles, but he hit 5 over-the-wall home runs and 165 plate appearances. Now the first pitch from Capuano is just high. This season, Capuano 4.1 innings pitched to a tune of a 16 ERA. He's been better in his last few outings. It's his fourth. It was mainly the first that kind of caused him to struggle against Olney, where there was nobody else behind him and they were out of arms. So a 2-0, 1-1 count now as this one's fouled off the bat of Gonzalez. 1-1. I'm Carson Cass, joined by Zach Lewis. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you are live watching and listening on the Big Train Baseball Network, we are your eyes for your ears tonight. 2-1 as that one misses from Capuano, and a guy who's definitely seen a bit more walks than he's hoped for. Swung backwards, and that one will hit TJ Gramesty on the foul ball. 2-2 now. He's got a good pitch. Youch. And behind the dish, has been beat up all season. Needs a moment there. Got him right in the chest. Got Gladiators back there, and that's a big thing. They've definitely needed it. Mentioned Jack Gagan, the brother of Bradley Gagan, who pitched earlier in this one. One of the backups, only one remaining out of injury. 2-2. Comes the 2-2 to the batter, Gonzalez, and he will watch ball 3. Just outside from Capuano. Bottom 7, full count, bases loaded. He's surrounded. Full distributed from the righty Capuano out of Youngstown State, and he walked him. Another earned run on the tally of Tyrese Johnson, and another RBI walk. 5th walk in a row for Southern Maryland as Kehoe scores. Cole Ream leads things off. OBP to the tune of just about 600. Doubled this thing earlier, trying to find their way back. 10-8 Senators trail only by 2. Tying run is at second. He hits this one in the air, right field. It's going to get down, and it's fair ball. Going to be extra bases for Ream as the throw gets in there. One runner will score. The tying will come home, and it is a 10-10 game. Another double for Ream. This time it scores the tire.
And that's a big moment for these Senators. Big Train did well early in both their pitching and batting to make this game stretch into a big lead, but the Senators have fought right back into it, and you have to know that with these bats that the Senators do have in this lineup, that it's never going to be a possibility. Never to count them out of a game.
Intentional walk to Bud Coombs. Makes sense. Have an open base. Josh Saronis on the other side. They're trying to win this thing, and intentionally walking the absurdly powerful bat of Coombs makes sense, who left the park earlier on a 91-mile-per-hour hit, which is pretty low with a wood bat. And just left the yard. Had enough power in his just pure frame to push that one over the wall. So an intentional walk to Coombs. Bases loaded still. As it brings up Josh Saronis, struck out in his rookie season as a Senator and going into his freshman year. He's committed to the University of Delaware, the Blue Hens, in New Ark. 1-0. Ground ball right side, foul. You know, you're in these jams. For Capuano, what's the mentality right now? When you have such talented hitting all around this lineup that has suddenly closed in on you, return their way back from a 9-0 lead, 2 days removed from doing the same. 6-0 versus the Thunderbolts, as the high pitch is caught very well by Gramus. He has to get up there for that. Have to guess that mentality is somewhat calm. And slowly, more and more panic as Capuano gives the 2-1, and this one high. He tries to get the pickoff at second, and the throw goes into the outfield. The lead now for Southern Maryland as Braylon Gonzalez is brought home by the error. What a fantastic sense of pressure by the Senators. Trying to get it out. Gramusty, who's done it a lot before, barely making those errors this season, throws one, fortunately, to Mirza, and Braylon Gonzalez will score. Runners at second and first. Game now 11-10. First lead for the top of the South Division in Southern Maryland. 3-1 count, and he walked him. Bases loaded. Again, yes, it is a 3-1 count. Runners didn't think so, as they will be awarded the walk, so still no outs. Ring of Fire is burning the Big Train as they have given up 7 walks and 1 hit this inning, one of which intentional, one of which a hit by pitch. Capuano trying to escape the nightmare. Fastball in there, just misses.
Well, he inherited this game in a really tough spot. And just trying to find a way to navigate out of this. No cushion here as he doesn't have a single out in this inning and needs to find a way to get this one over.
So 4 runs in the 4th as this one is tattooed up the middle and it gets down. Base hit, 1 runner will come home as the rest will stay. So a 1-run single for Zach Anderson, and they have batted around before an out has been recorded for Bethesda. Yeah, this one doesn't feel good if you're on the mound.
Does not, and there just doesn't seem to be an answer right now for the Senator bats.
Senators have just crushed the ball all game since they have gotten their first few hits in the 4th and 5th. 4 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, now 6 here, in the 7th as a 12-10 lead for the Senators. No outs. Capuano's first strike in there to the second time up for Kieran Kehoe. Got things started with a 4-pitch walk from Johnson. Now in there again, and the off-speeds made it 0-2.
Really needed those 2 strikes there. Does a good job getting ahead. Needs to find some outs here. Needs to keep this one close for the big train to have a chance going into these later innings.
That one low, and now a 1-2 count as Capuano just barely misses. One, 2. Kehoe fouls this one off, and a survival swing for the rising senior at Iona College. It's his second school. From New York. Returned home in the transfer portal. Played his spring there. One, 2 now, and Capuano contributing to a staff that has struggled. Same situation for the Senators as they've given up double digits, and this game is nowhere near over here in the bottom of the 7th as we just stretched and things getting scary. 2-2 count is after the Kehoe observes a miss. Runner at third, second, and first. Survival swing again as he fouls one backwards off the ground, reaches out with his big 6'8" frame. Another going in the pen for Bethesda.
Fortunately, you could feel a little bit of the energy leaving this Bethesda squad. They definitely need to find that and get reinvigorated in order to mount their own comeback here.
Kehoe survives again, and another foul tip swing, and 2-2 count. Gramesty trying to command him through. Now 4 straight foul balls off the bat of Kehoe. Capuano trying to just get out of this. Line drive, left field, worm burner, going to get down in the infield and will get out to left field. Misplay by Foscolo as he kind of bobbles it, but it will be collected in time, so nothing extra. Another RBI single, and 10 batters have gone without an out as 1 runner will score.
It just goes from bad to worse for these big train. The ball continuing to be hit in places that are hard to make plays, but also just getting unlucky and unfortunate with their digs and not able to make it out.
Ground ball left side, another worm burner, this time same place. Honestly, the exact same hit that was just came through as Kehoe will be followed up by Jax Nichols, who's got another RBI, and this Southern Maryland lineup. Oh my goodness.
Nothing moves on the score bug on that one as everyone takes each other's places. One more run scored for the Senators. 14-10 now as there is no answer for the Bats.
So
Identical swings.
11 up, none down. 8 runs scored, 14-10 Senators, who entered this inning with a 4-run deficit before they have recorded an out, 4-run lead. I would say pretty good baseball if I'm a Senators fan. Not so much in this booth. Not too keen on them finding their bats very suddenly.
When you have to say if you're Gagan, who started this game and Dolby started this game. To say he left the game in quite the position for his home squad, up 9 runs after he left. So thinking he might be able to earn himself a win in this game.
Nope.
Fortunately, Big Train have lost that hope.
Well, you're playing a team that leads the league in OBP and slug, and you know what? I've certainly seen a lot of batters on base for Maryland, and I have certainly seen a lot of slug. 14 runs in the last 3 innings, 1-2 count now to Jackson Hayes, who's already been hit by a pitch and scored this inning. One-two hits him. He's hit by the second pitch this inning, this time from a different pitcher. And now everybody who's gone through the first time in the 7th inning, every runner has scored for Southern Maryland, as every single batter has scored. I'll be right back. They'll call to the bullpen, I believe, one more time. Another arm out of this pen, and Bethesda trying to find an answer here with bases loaded already. 9 runs given up this inning. No outs just yet. Jack Ewert to the dish. In this inning, he's already walked and driven a run in on that walk. First pitch from Terry Kaler, the new arm. He's from North Carolina, played his last year at Gaston, just committed to Eastern Michigan. He'll play with the Eagles and spend his time in Ypsilanti. Very hard to pronounce name. It's got a Y in front of it. You're not supposed to pronounce it like pterodactyl. 1-0. And the first two pitches not in there, 2-0.
I believe the letter you're not supposed to pronounce in pterodactyl is a P.
Well, it's like pterodactyl, like
Okay.
where you're not supposed to pronounce the first letter. I guess I could have made that clearer. You're right, 2-0. I don't know dinosaurs, I guess. That's one thing I'll take. Friend Owen back home knows a lot about dinosaurs. Big fan of the Jurassic Park movies. I am too. And it's certainly feeling like a horror movie for these Big Train. They've given up 9 runs in the 7th.
I hate to correct you. I actually don't. I'm just saying that. I would not really classify Jurassic Park as horror.
It's a thriller. Fine.
It's definitely a thriller.
I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, but scary doesn't make something a horror.
This is scary. 3-1. And he's in there. Good
Now
pitch
this-
from Kaler.
This is scary.
It happens. I mean, sometimes you just have a staff and they aren't there on a certain day. These Big Train have had fantastic pitching. Three, 2, and fouled off. I don't know if you heard that. I thought I muted my mic. I did not. I was discussing water trade with our GM. Didn't mute my mic there. My fault. 3-2. Kaler trying to get the first out, and he got it. First strikeout of the inning, first out of the inning as Kaler sits one down. Took 12 plate appearances to get there, but Big Train have finally found one. Brings up the top of the order, or the bottom, excuse me. Reverse leadoff for Braylon Gonzalez tonight. First pitch from Kaler is in there. It's a good pitch. Terry has had a rough season so far, but building on a great season at Gaston. Definitely think he'll find his way from the left side, and lefties have just unfortunately seen a lot of great lefty hitters. Third pitcher this inning, first to get an out. 0-1, and that one just misses on the high portion. Counts ones. Glad the only things we've corrected each other on air about were ultraviolet lighting, which was infrared, and Jurassic Park being a horror movie.
At least we know baseball.
At least we know baseball. 1-2. 2-1, excuse me, as that one misses. Kaler still surrounded by the likes of Kehoe, Nichols, and Hayes. All of those guys have scored before already. That one low, and now a 3-1 count to Gonzalez, who's already walked a run in. Looking to walk his second over there, Kehoe. He's already walked Kehoe in specifically. (3-1). Misses a bit low, and another earned run on the tally for Capuano. And Kaler. A lot of close pitches there. He'll walk another batter, and another run comes applause. 16-10 Senators. A 10-run seventh. Golly.
That has been kind of a worst case scenario here for the Big Train. Just not able to find answers, not able to find the zone, and 3 pitchers here in this inning.
The game of baseball is quite cruel, my friend. And tonight, we are on the cruel end of the baseball gods.
Well, it gives and it takes, because it was a sun-shining happy day for the Big Train, going up 9-0.
That one in there for a strike. Count is 1 to the new leadoff man, Cole Rame. On deck is Bud Coombs. There's only one out. Bud Coombs has hit 2 grand slams this season. One on Tuesday, one on Wednesday. If he could find his way to the dish, he's already homered tonight. He's extended his homer streak, so don't worry about that. Kaler strikes him out here. He gets Bud Coombs to the dish, who has already intentionally walked and scored, on the opportunity to go for another homer tonight and tie the league lead, and also go for his third home run that is a grand slam in a night. 1-2, ground ball right side. And I like to see history. I'd like at least to give Bud Coombs a chance with the bases loaded. Give a guy a shot for history. I mean, he's already made it with the 2 grand slams in back-to-back nights.
Well, Bud Coombs already showing that he is maybe one of the best caliber players. Obviously hasn't played in a ton of games, but that this league has seen.
Fly ball right side, collected by Carpenter. All the runners will go home. No sacrifice fly. And just that will happen. After the 1-2 count, we will see Bud Coombs, bases loaded, on a night that he could really etch himself into the history books. Grand slams, Tuesday, Wednesday, already homered Thursday. Pitcher is the lefty, Terry Kaler. Coombs watches the first pitch fastball down Broadway as it is now an 0-1 count. 2 outs. Already 16-10 after entering this inning, up 10-6 for Bethesda. They find themselves double save away. 0-1 for Kaler. And that one misses outside. Now a 1-1 count to Bud Coombs.
One more out here to get out of a nightmare inning for the big train and see what they can do on the other side.
Ones, Kaler, southpaw delivers. Here's the pitch. Coombs thought about it, but it misses inside. Counts 2-1. A newly crowned Eastern Michigan Eagle. Looking to get out of this jam without any unearned runs. His first would be at first. 2-1. Pitch. Hits this ball hard in the center. It's not deep enough to get out, but it is off the wall. Mirza off the carom. It'll be doubles, at least for Coombs, as he brings 2 runners in. It's now a 18-10 ball game. The double by Coombs is now 4 RBIs on the night for the young hitter who has just demolished the ball. He's reached his last 4 and he's scored his last 4.
Well, the big train lucky here to have gotten early runs and gotten a big, or else they might be in serious danger of a run world category as we enter the bottom of the 7th.
So Coombs was like 10 feet short of making history there, but at this rate, he may have another shot at it with how long Kaler's going to have to pitch, as there's still 2 more innings he would have to go through. And the 0-1 count now. Lefty Kaler to the bat of Josh Saronis, who walked already. Foul ball backwards, quickly down 0-2. Now 0-2, Kaler trying to find his way out of the nightmare jam, as that'll miss. 1-2, Zach, and we have been in this inning now for an hour. Started at 7, almost 8. It's been a long one. 12 runs, 13 total for both teams. 1-2 as he catches him looking, so it's 2 strikeouts for Kaler as they escape the inning finally. Entered up 10-6, left down 18-10, so not the ideal way to give up 12 runs for the Senators on what was only 4 hits. We'll be back in the top of the 8th inning as the big train looked to find any way back. They were up 9-0, and they'll try and put another 9 up to go back up. Top of the 8th on the Big Train Baseball Network. It's 18-10 very suddenly on the Big Train Baseball Network, and their run total's been doubled. 18 for them. We had 9-0 at a certain point. Palm's still in this game. Haven't seen him in a while. Big Train went through 3 pitchers that inning. Count is 1-0, and this one fouled back towards the left side, and Brennan Wright, the batter. Haven't seen him in quite some time. 1-3. Walkie scored both times he's gotten on, so Big Train hoping to get a rally going through him, and now 1-2 as he watches a fastball go by. Saw it off backwards towards the dugout, and now 1-2 stays.
Well, obviously 8 runs is a big ask for this Big Train squad, but the pitching of the Senators has not been their strong suit so far this season either, so it's not out of reach yet.
Palm's out of the pen tonight, but he's one of the better starters. 4.91 ERA to this point out of Youngstown State. And let me tell you, do you know what the mascot is there?
It's a penguin.
It's a penguin, and this one is a slide ground ball over to first, and he got him. Could not get there as Kehoe waddled on and helped his penguin friend out on the mound. Good play from him.
The next time a player dives headfirst into base, can you please say penguin slides?
Penguin dive, wouldn't it be? I don't know. This one, a immediate pop fly off the bat of Cal Johnson in bloop territory, but it's high enough for the right fielder Gonzalez to get there, and he does.
Well, 2 quick outs is not what the Big Train side of this want to see.
Now batting number 10, Daniel Machado.
Looking for any way to just spark a little bit of life in this team. That dugout honestly has gone pretty quiet over there. It's a long trip here to Waldorf from Bethesda area.
Machado in the dish now. It's his 3rd time tonight and 4 plate appearances batting from the righty batter's box. Only saw 1 righty, and that was Adams. Palm's a lefty. Whereas 27, red glove to match. Did not pitch last year at Youngstown State due to injury. Count is 1s for the Penguin. Hard ground ball left side, and it's going to get down. Extra bases for Machado coming up as it's into the deep reaches of the corner. Machado, a standing double. And there's an extra base hit for him. Despite the night for the Big Train, he has continued to produce.
Now batting number 37, Zachary Malvasia.
So a double for Machado keeps this inning running, as it'll bring up Zachary Malvasio, the kind of guy you're trying to look for to get a spark out of your team. It's top 8, homered already in this first inning. Things were looking very bright then for Bethesda as they took a 4-0 lead, then a 9-0 lead, then a 9-4, then fell to 9-6. Got it back to a 10-6, but then 12 unanswered. Bottom 7, if you just missed it, a lot of walks as every single batter, first time through the order, reached and scored.
Yeah, and Johnson getting over to first base. Another base hit for him tonight. Hopefully that can be a bit of a spark for this lineup.
High fly ball off the bat of Malvasio. It's a shallow center field, but this one isn't deep enough. Collected by Coombs, who nearly went deep his last time up for a 3rd consecutive night with a grand slam, but was just short. However, the way things are going for this lineup, he may have himself another shot. We'll be right back on the bottom half of this 8th inning, 18-10, Senators. Welcome back to Bethesda Big Train Baseball here in Waldorf, Maryland. I almost said Walter, and because it's Shirley Povich Field, but namesake for the team is Walter Johnson. Nickname was the Big Train.
That was a Tony the Tiger-esque wind-up for Waldorf there.
Ooh, I actually don't know. I don't remember any of those
It's
commercials.
great.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Waldorf, as the team from Waldorf has had a fantastic night, but only in the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning they have put up 4, 2, and 12 runs. So they have an 18-10 lead. Big Train had it at one point, 9-0.
Early 2-0 count on the plate for
Kyle Lewin, pinch hitter. Out of FAU, his teammates behind him. And TJ Gramesty got a teammate at short. And some in the pen. As a 3-0 count to him, trying to get the leadoff man aboard. He was the only guy that did not see the plate twice last inning. 3-0. In there for strike one. One misses high and inside, and he walked him. So Kyle Lewin, the first man aboard in this bottom of the 8th, excuse me.
Well, and they've done a lot of their damage by just being patient against a couple of pitchers struggling to find the zone and earning plenty of RBIs off walks with bases loaded here tonight.
Their walk total tonight, if you're curious, and I know you're curious. So for Bethesda, it's 3. For them, it's 12. And not to mention, the fact they have 12 hits as well also helps. Big Train also have 12 hits, so the difference has been the 9 walks. 10 runs still here for Bethesda. They've done a very good job, or did a very good job still have done a very good job this game at the plate. 1-0 count. Kaler trying to not surrender another walk as a 2-0 count and a runner goes. Kyle Lewin is in with a stolen base. If you are using a scorebook, I applaud you if you've kept up. Let's go through what happened last inning from start to finish, just because it's amusing to me. This is a very good lineup that was very patient and made sure not to go after anything, and they knew what was going on. Walk, walk, hit by pitch, walk, walk, 2-run double, intentional walk, walk, single, hit by pitch, and a strikeout, walk, then another strikeout. Or then a pop fly, another 2-run double from Bud Coombs and a strikeout. And now we're at this inning as the 2-0 is in there for strike one. So what you're noticing is a severe amount of patience.
And maybe on the other side of that is a little bit of control issues from the bullpen this outing for Bethesda.
Safe to say, I think. 3-1. There is maybe a red-tailed hawk, maybe a vulture, circling center field. And if that isn't symbolic, I don't know what is, especially with the homer tendency of this lineup as we face them tonight. It feels like almost something is coming into center field as a bad omen, and it has just been unreal how well this side is slugged.
And you have to be careful here because no outs and 2 runners on. This shows bunt.
Nichols shows bunt. Kaler misses inside. Not what you like to see if you are the bunter. And his coach tells him, just swing. The 1-0 count now from Terry Kaler. Brother Tanner not able to pitch this year. And that one misses outside. Now 2-0. 2-0 dish. Kaler to the catcher, Nichols. This one fouled back and just beyond the field behind us that has a fence trying to prevent balls from leaving the park. If it was like 3 feet higher, it would really do its job a lot better. But I don't know, maybe it's just a fence to mark the grounds and where they end. Would definitely help a lot of people who have to run out of the hole in that wall. 2-1. Well hit into left field, and at the track, he is out on the warning track as he went for a bat flip. So not really what they were hoping for, and they didn't tag. So getting late, they're up a bunch, and the Senators make a misplay. Nichols tries to go for a home run celebration on a ball that doesn't leave the park and convince Zach Anderson, his replacement Kai Lewin, that maybe he'd gotten there. So 2 outs on the old F7, followed by F7-6-4. So not the most typical double play you see, as the runner at second has been cut down. So maybe that was what the Vulture was circling for.
That was it.
Good for us.
Oh, great for us. And the Big Train dugout over here, we're calling loudly for it, as the pickoff attempt does get the man who had just fully wandered off of first base. That will end our inning.
Kehoe will say something to Kaler. I think both of them found it funny, and that was one of the innings of all time, I have to say. Well, at the top of the ninth, Big Train have 3 outs before this one's over. Palms will try and end and shut the door as it is nearly closed. Down 8. Welcome back to the Big Train Network, and we've got ourselves another guest here on the away game. I've got Grace Adams, the Director of Data Analytics here at the Big Train. Grace, how are you on this longer night here in Waldorf?
You know, I was having fun. Now I'm mellowing out.
That's a fair point, I'd say. 9-0 lead, and Big Train gets something started here. Casey Carpenter, hard into left, deep reaches of left field. He'll go for 2. It's out of the park as it goes under the fence. So good start there, a double, and we talk about how important that getting runners on is.
Yeah.
Big Train have only walked 3 times.
I mean, you can only score if someone's on base. So getting
Bingo.
people on is one of the most important parts of this game.
That's bingo. And how important is the walk compared to that? Do teams that tend to walk more and hit less?
Honestly, I like teams that walk more. It shows you have a lot more plate discipline than other teams. I think being able to sit up there and take some bad pitches, that even if they're close, and then get on base, helps the guys behind you know that you have their back.
Yeah, and I think certainly you see a lot of guys who, when you get a walk, I mean, sometimes you're just going to have a guy that hits a homer, and, you know, if you stay on and walk before him is Foscolo, a deep drive into left field. This one at the wall, and it's going to be collected off the carom by the left fielder, Saronis, and runners at the corners. No, it won't stop at third. They won't look at him at second at the throw in there. And, again, another good piece of base hitting, and now suddenly they've got something going, huh?
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad to see that even when we're down for the count, we're still able to keep the morale up and go and get hits, even with it being the top of the ninth and giving up 12 runs 2 innings prior.
Definitely one of the longer days we've seen on the Big Train Baseball Network.
But at least we started at 5 o'clock, so
That's true.
we do get to go home at a normal time.
Well, we have a 2-hour drive, and honestly, 3 hours and 15 minutes isn't. It's pretty standard for us. Just been a long game, I think, mentally, and for players recovering, it kind of
Yeah.
gets into a point of what do they like. I was curious as this one has popped in the air from Gramercy. This is a pop fly out. My dad has this question a lot, and a lot of other people ask me this. How important are those analytics for players, and what do they use them for?
So honestly, from me, I get the most questions and I help the most from pitchers. A lot of times pitchers want to see how their ball's moving, using how much they move up and down versus left to right, and also seeing if their velo drops throughout a game. Because if a velo drops throughout the game, it means they're probably not as well conditioned as they think they are. And then, for hitters, most of them just want to see swing decisions by count or how far they're hitting it. I mean, everyone likes to see that they can hit a ball 95 off the bat and 370 feet, as Malvasio has done for a couple games now.
Yeah, 2 guys in this one with a 3-homer streak. Started the same day on Tuesday, which is a bit curious. Mirza pops this one foul, 1-2 count.
Glad to see him battling up at the plate right now.
Yeah, and for hitters, do those analytics kind of go into, at this level, swing rate and what they're supposed to see, and does it help them in learning what they're supposed to be swinging at, what they're not supposed to be swinging at, maybe what's hittable for them?
Honestly, most of these guys should be asking for that. That does help. But most of the time, what I'm looking at against hitters is honestly against the hitters we're seeing. So what is the other team's swing rate against fastballs, breaking balls, off speeds? What pitches are these guys good at? Where do they chase? I try to convey that information back to our own players to see maybe how another team would face them.
3-2 count, and Mirza strikes out swinging. He'll chase Gramercy, who also went down on the pop fly. So we'll bring up the maybe last batter tonight. Big Train last final out. Sorry to bring you on so late. They definitely had a lot more time in the 12-run inning, as it's a sawed-off grounder back to the mound, and the pitcher will get it. That'll be the end of the Big Train game on the Big Train Baseball Network. But it was very nice having you, Grace.
Yes, I was always glad to be on the network here with you guys.
Always love to have you in these away games. But winning pitcher going to be the likes of Palms for them. I mean, that was an absolute decimation. They score up 9-0. The Big Train give up 18-1 runs. So just not the night you're hoping for. Bullpen couldn't find a way to get it done, and good night for Dolby. He won't go down with the loss at all. He left with the win, up 9-0, and kind of slowly getting back into this one. Hitter of the game probably has to be Bud Coombs. 4 RBIs for them. He did a very good job for our side, though. I mean, Malvasio, another great night. 4 RBIs and 3 hits for the kid. So that's going to be all on the Big Train Baseball Network. Do you have any last words, Lewis? Zach? I don't know why I said your last name there. I was thinking of the university in Illinois.
We will see you guys tomorrow at Shirley Povich for some Juneteenth celebrations there